interview everyday people like yourself that uplift and empower, shifting the narrative of news from a traditional negative experience to more impactful.
Just when quarantine started, I was hearing a lot about the death of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, and I was also doing poetry at school at the time. So I just really used poetry as an outlet to express my feelings just on the whole situation. And I was just thinking, there must be a lot of kids who just feel very strongly about this topic, but don't really know how to talk about it. So that was when I had the idea to create the contest, just to give students a platform to speak about what matters and social justice and just have somewhere to present it to the world.
And how did you get started in terms of the steps of creating it, from making it an idea into an actual competition?
To actually create it, I worked with my mother. She runs the National Youth Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that works with kids everywhere on book projects, and they run multiple projects and everything. So on their website, I have a page called I Matter. And it just started with a simple, I think it was emailing first. People would just send their poetry and art to the email. But then last year, I figured Google Forms would be easier to organize it. So now there's a Google form on there, and that is where students submit their entries. So last year we had 650 from 42 states and about 30 countries. So that was a bit crazy, like that was a bit a lot to sort. So we had some help from judges and just some like people who were helping us sort the poems. So Rob Covington from the NBA, Malcolm Jenkins from the NFL, and Monet Davis. So, and me. So yeah, we just had to sort through everything. And then once we select the top 10, they are all in the book. They're finalists. And then there's the first place winner. And along with each like piece of poetry, there's also artwork to go along with it. So yeah, it's pretty nice.
That's really cool. So you said it started at quarantine. How old were you when it started?
So I was in 9th grade, so I was 14.
So it's been going for 2 years now?
Yes.
And how do you manage being in, well, maybe not in charge, but working with something that's this big while still being a student and in high school?
Well, it definitely is a lot because I'm in 11th grade right now, and it is kind of like the most important year. So usually I'm getting better with my time management, and I tend to utilize my study halls at school and just advocate time, or yeah, like put time after school for me to complete stuff. And then once I finish my assignments for school, then I'll work on planning something or working on something for the contest. And recently I went to Philly with the 100 Black Men group and met with a group of kids there. And I did a workshop to just get more entries for the contest and just teach kids just how to use poetry and art to their advantage.
So what have you learned since it first started up until now? And like how has that helped you along the way?
I guess I've just learned how much effort and it like takes to run something, because it definitely took a while just to get the contest on its feet. So like how I reached all those countries, it was not like that at first. So some days I will work with some kids from my school and we'll all volunteer and research just states that we didn't really receive a lot from the previous year. And then we'll research like schools and just programs that relate to poetry and art, and reach out, like email them directly and hope to set up like a Zoom workshop, or just have a teacher like work with their students to do it. And I guess really, it is just really important though, to just be working with this topic and everything, and just doing something like this for kids just means a lot to me.
So how does one get involved with the competition? Is there like online, like an entry form still with the Google Doc? And also, is there like an age limit to how old you have to be to get involved?
So the contest like page, if you look up National Youth Foundation, I Matter, that should take you to the page. But if you just go to National Youth Foundation under programs, there's a tab called I Matter. And on there is a Google form, which it is available until July 23rd, and it is open for kids in grades K to 12.
And so how does it work once they get involved into the competition? So are there stages, or how are winners picked? How does that work?
So once we receive all of the entries by July 23rd, we start just sorting through all of the poems and art and dividing it and like going through it, making sure everything's appropriate, making sure it's relevant to the topic, and just making sure it is original because yeah, we can't really publish anything that's been written before. So after that process, then around August, early August, we'll announce the finalists, and then we'll reach out to each of them, and they each receive $100. And then later on, we will pick the winner, and they receive $500. And then we begin with, I guess, like producing the book and sending that out to everyone and just posting on social media about it. So that's pretty much how the contest runs. So like late August, early September, the books will be ready, and then everything. Then the contest just restarts.
And jumping back, where did you get the idea to turn these entries into a book?
So when I was younger, I used to enter like Scholastic's book contest. So I've just always been like thinking I've just always been interested in reading and writing. So I was thinking I need a way that's just better than just telling these people they won. I need to create a book. So I went to Portland, Oregon in like November, I think. Maybe it was October. No, it was November. Okay. I went in November and we donated a book to the library there. So just kids around the country and around the world, I just want them to be able to pick up this book in their library and say, wow, like I've never seen anything like this before.
Do you feel like you're setting an example for kids who are around you, or even kids who want to start to speak out and make changes but don't know how?
I feel like I definitely am. And I just want to make it known to people that like if you're a kid and you just think, oh, I can't do this, this is too much work, you definitely can. You just need to find someone in your community or in your life that will be willing to help you do everything. Or not help you, but like just kind of mentor you through it. Because at a young age, it is kind of hard to create something by yourself. So I would just recommend to people that they like reach out to someone who can help them with that.
How is it working so closely with your mom and having her support while you do this?
I just think it's really nice to have someone always there for me. And it really has strengthened our bond just working on this together as partners. And I'm just really glad to have someone who's always there for me and through this.
Just to talk a little bit more about the competition, do you or anyone who works with you, do you have plans on growing the competition or doing anything further with it to make it bigger than what it already is, or is that something you thought about?
So currently, previously, like I said, we have been reaching out to people online. So that's really what we're doing right now, and also planning more workshops. But definitely, I'm working to get the contest listed on more pages and everything just to grow it.
So what happens in these workshops? Like, what do you do?
So in the workshops, I have a slideshow where it just gives the students information about the contest. And then it just has a list of names of Black people who have been killed. And I just teach the students, and I'm explaining to them, like they might know about George Floyd, but they might not know about Ahmaud Arbery. So I'm just showing them, I'm just like helping them just learn about more people that they need to know about, and also just encouraging them to write poetry and art to just express why they feel this way.
So you're a junior. Are you still 16?
Yeah, I just turned 16.
Oh, wow. So happy belated birthday. But now is the year that you start looking at colleges and things like that. So how do you feel that having something like this on your belt will help you go forward?
Well, definitely with the schools that I'm looking at, I probably will need something, just another thing other than grades and SAT scores. So I definitely think this will help me. And I'm glad that this contest has allowed me to just be open to so many opportunities, like doing this interview and just applying for many things.
And do you know what you're wanting to go to school for? Are you wanting to do poetry or maybe criminal justice? And if so, what caused you to feel that way? And does it have anything to do with the competition and your involvement?
So for college, I'm definitely thinking about majoring in business, because just running a business kind of, even though my contest is not really a business, just organizing and running things is kind of something I like to do. And I also want to minor in poetry just so that I can advance what I know about poetry and everything.
We're getting down to the last couple of questions, and I want to ask you, what do you want the audience to take away from this story whenever it's published and they have the chance to read it?
I just want all of my younger just listeners and viewers just know you can do anything you put your mind to. You just can't give up. You just have to have a good environment around you, just motivating you to take action.
And how does it feel to be a figure for younger kids to look up to? And this is not that far away for them. And how does it feel to know that they have the ability to look up to you?
It just melts my heart that a lot of people do look up to me that way. When I was at my event with the 100 Black men, this kid came up and hugged me after. Like, he was just so happy just to be learning about poetry and art. And I'm just really glad that people, like, I guess, enjoy entering and enjoy doing it, like just seeing me do what I did.
Thank you for listening. Continue to listen and support our journalism at WeINSPIREmovement.org. Hit us up on all our social media for daily inspiration. Nothing but the good news.